Welcome back to the AI Coach by Anil Nathu,
Yay.
where we like to take these deep dives into the world of AI.
Mhm.
Today, we're looking at AI agents.
Yeah. Fascinating.
Really fascinating stuff.
Yeah.
These entities, these AI agents, they can learn and adapt. They can make decisions on their own.
Right. And they're not just a thing of the future. I mean, you see them all around.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're powering a lot of technology that we use every day.
So I'm curious, from your perspective, where did this all begin?
Well, the idea of AI agents, it's not as new as you might think.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you can trace it back to the very beginning of computer science.
Wow.
When people were first starting to think about what computers could actually do.
So how do we go from those early computers, those basic calculators, to these sophisticated AI agents we're talking about today?
Well, it was a journey, a step-by-step process.
Mhm.
Think about it like a technological ladder.
Okay.
The first systems were like that first rung on the ladder, very simple rule-based systems.
Hmm.
They could handle basic tasks, but they weren't really learning or adapting.
Right.
But as our understanding of computing and artificial intelligence grew, we started climbing higher.
Yeah.
Expert systems came along. These were able to mimic human decision-making.
Yeah, I was reading about those in the AI Coach by Anil Nathu.
Right.
It seems like those were some of the early attempts to capture human expertise and put it into a computer program.
Exactly. They were trying to bottle that expertise, so to speak.
Right.
But the real game changer, the thing that propelled us up that ladder, was machine learning.
Oh, yeah.
This is what allowed AI agents to actually learn from data to get better over time.
Machine learning, that seems to be at the heart of it.
It is.
What makes these AI agents so powerful and adaptable?
Absolutely.
It's something that Anil Nathu really emphasizes in the AI Coach.
Yeah, and it's because this ability to learn from data is what allows AI agents to tackle problems that we never thought computers could handle. Like,
Mhm.
for example, DeepMind's AlphaGo,
Oh, yeah.
that learned to play Go.
The game of Go.
Yeah, the ancient game of Go.
And that was a game that was considered way too complex for computers to really grasp.
Right. It was considered a grand challenge for AI.
And AlphaGo beat a world champion Go player, didn't it?
Yeah, it did in 2016.
That was a landmark achievement. I remember when that happened.
It really showed the world what AI agents could do.
Yeah.
And it's this learning capability, this machine learning aspect that really differentiates the types of AI agents out there.
Right.
You've got your reactive agents, your model-based agents, goal-based agents, and then the learning agents.
Yeah. Anil Nathu lays those out really clearly in the AI Coach.
Mm-hmm.
But can we break those down a little bit for our listeners?
Sure.
What are the key differences between
Yeah.
those types of AI agents?
Well, you can think of it as a spectrum of complexity.
Okay.
At the simplest end, you have your reactive agents. These react directly to their environment based on pre-programmed rules.
So no real memory or planning, just reacting in the moment.
Right, exactly. Like a simple chess program that just follows a set of rules to choose its moves.
Okay, I get it.
Then you move up to model-based agents.
Mm-hmm.
These have an internal model of the world, which allows them to keep track of things,
Okay.
make more informed decisions, like a self-driving car.
Right.
It needs a model of the road, other cars, traffic signals to get around effectively.
So it's like they have a mental map of their surroundings that they
Yeah.
use to plan their actions.
Exactly. And then we have goal-based agents.
Mm-hmm.
These agents have specific objectives,
Okay.
and they can plan a sequence of actions to achieve those goals.
Like a robot in a factory that has to assemble a specific product.
Right. It needs to figure out the best order of steps to complete the task.
So these goal-based agents are a bit more strategic.
Yeah, you could say that they're like little planners.
Uh-huh.
And finally, we have the learning agents,
Right. The most advanced type.
the most sophisticated.
And these are the ones that can learn from their experiences and improve over time, just like AlphaGo.
Exactly. They can adapt and evolve, constantly getting better at what they do.
But this is where that machine learning aspect really shines.
It does.
So we've got these different types of AI agents, each with its own level of complexity and capabilities,
Right.
but they all have one thing in common.
What's that?
They're already making a significant impact on our world.
They are.
They're being used in a wide range of industries,
Hmm.
from healthcare and finance to transportation and entertainment. So let's dive into some of those real-world applications.
Okay.
Where are AI agents having the biggest impact today?
Well, one area where we're seeing a huge impact is in healthcare.
Oh, yeah.
AI agents are being used to analyze medical images, assist with diagnoses, and even personalized treatment plans.
It's incredible to think about how AI is being used to improve healthcare outcomes.
It is.
And I know Neil Nathu talks about IBM Watson and the AI coach.
Right, yeah.
It's a prime example of AI being applied to healthcare.
Yeah, Watson is definitely a pioneer in this field.
Uh-huh.
It has the ability to analyze huge amounts of medical data, including research papers and patient records, to assist doctors in making more informed decisions.
It's like having an incredibly knowledgeable consultant right there at your fingertips.
Exactly. And it can help doctors stay up to date on the latest research and make sure that patients are getting the best possible care.
That's amazing.
But of course, there are challenges.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
When you're dealing with something as sensitive as healthcare, you have to be extremely careful.
Right.
Accuracy, reliability, ethical considerations, these are all paramount.
We need to make sure that AI agents are being used responsibly
Absolutely right.
and that they're not perpetuating biases or compromising patient privacy.
All right.
It's a powerful technology,
Right.
but it needs to be handled with care.
Yeah, but this is just one example. There are so many other ways that AI agents are transforming industries.
Right.
From finance, where they're being used to detect fraud and manage investments, to transportation, where we see them in self-driving cars and traffic management systems.
It's really fascinating to see how AI is changing the way we live and work.
It is.
So we've got these incredible AI agents doing all sorts of amazing things, but I think a lot of people are probably wondering, how do they actually work? What are the key components that make them tick?
Well, it's actually not as complicated as it might seem.
Oh, really? Break it down for us.
So think of it this way. An AI agent needs to do three main things. It needs to perceive its environment.
Okay.
It needs to make decisions based on what it perceives, and then it needs to take action.
So perceive, decide, act.
Exactly. Those are the three core components: perception, decision-making, and action execution.
Okay, let's start with perception.
Sure.
How does an AI agent actually see the world around it?
Well, just like we use our senses to gather information about our surroundings,
Right.
AI agents rely on sensors to collect data about their environment.
Okay.
These sensors can be anything from cameras and microphones to LiDAR and radar systems.
So these sensors are like the AI agent's eyes and ears, providing it with the raw data it needs to understand the world.
Exactly. And once the agent has this data, it needs to make sense of it.
That's where the decision-making comes in.
Right.
This is where the intelligence of the AI agent really comes into play.
Yeah, you could say that the agent uses algorithms and logic, often powered by machine learning models, to process the sensor data and make decisions about what to do next.
So it's like the agent has a little brain
Yeah.
that's constantly analyzing information
Right.
and figuring out the best course of action.
Exactly. And this decision-making process can be quite complex depending on the type of AI agent and the task at hand.
I can imagine.
But at its core, it involves evaluating different options
Okay.
and choosing the one that is most likely to achieve the agent's goal or produce the desired outcome.
So the AI agent has perceived its environment, made a decision. Now, what happens next? How does it actually do something in the real world?
Well, that's where action execution comes in.
Okay.
The AI agent needs a way to translate its decisions into physical or digital actions.
So for example, if it's a self-driving car,
Right.
the action execution component would control the steering acceleration and braking.
Exactly. Or if it's a virtual assistant like Siri or Alexa, the action execution component would involve generating speech, playing music, or sending a text message.
I get it. So we've got perception, decision-making, and action execution.
Right.
The three core components of an AI agent.
But remember we talked about those learning agents earlier?
Yes, the most sophisticated type.
Right. Well, what makes them so special is that they have this added ability to learn from their experiences and improve their performance over time.
It's like they're constantly learning from their mistakes.
Exactly.
Getting better at what they do.
And that's where machine learning techniques like reinforcement learning really come into play.
So these learning agents are essentially constantly evolving,
They are.
becoming smarter and more capable.
Right. And it's this ability to learn and adapt that gives AI agents the potential to solve really complex problems and perform tasks that we never thought possible.
It's all incredibly fascinating. But I think it's also important to acknowledge that developing AI agents isn't always smooth sailing.
Definitely not.
There are challenges along the way.
Oh, absolutely.
So what are some of the biggest hurdles that AI developers are facing today?
Well, there are quite a few challenges, both technical and societal.
Okay, let's start with the technical side.
All right. One major challenge is creating AI agents that can operate effectively in real-world environments. I mean, the real world is messy and unpredictable.
For sure.
It's much harder for AI agents to navigate than a controlled laboratory setting.
So it's not just about building AI agents that are smart on paper,
Right.
but also about making sure they can handle the complexities of the real world.
Exactly. They need to be robust and adaptable.
Makes sense. What other technical challenges come to mind?
Well, another big one is ensuring that AI agents can make decisions in real time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, many applications like self-driving cars or robotic surgery require split-second decision making.
You can't afford to pause and ponder when you're in the middle of a high-speed driving maneuver or a delicate surgical procedure.
Exactly. So we need to build AI agents that can process information and make decisions incredibly quickly.
Right. And as AI agents become more complex, I imagine that becomes even more challenging.
It does.
What about scalability? Is that a hurdle as well?
Oh, for sure. We want to be able to use AI agents in a wide range of applications.
Mm-hmm.
And that means being able to scale them up to handle massive amounts of data and complex tasks.
So it's not just about building an AI agent that can solve one specific problem.
Right.
It's about creating systems that can be adapted and applied to a variety of tasks.
Precisely. And then there's the challenge of robustness.
Yeah.
We need to ensure that AI agents are reliable and don't break down in unexpected situations.
Especially in high-stakes situations like healthcare or transportation.
Exactly. We need to build AI agents that are trustworthy and dependable.
Okay, so we've got to consider these technical limitations.
Mm-hmm.
But what about security? How do we protect AI agents from being hacked or manipulated?
That's a major concern, especially as AI agents become more connected to the internet and critical infrastructure.
Right.
I mean, we need to develop strong security measures
Yeah.
to protect AI agents from cyber attacks and prevent malicious actors from tampering with their decision-making processes.
So it's not just about building intelligent AI agents,
Right.
but also about building secure AI agents.
Exactly. Security is paramount,
Yeah.
especially as we entrust AI agents with more and more responsibility in our lives.
Okay, so we've got the technical limitations, robustness, security.
Yeah.
What about those philosophical implications you mentioned earlier?
Well, as AI agents become more capable, I think we really need to think about their role in society and our relationship with these intelligent machines.
So it's about more than just the technical aspects. It's
Ah.
about the broader societal and ethical implications.
Exactly. I mean, do we want AI agents to be making life or death decisions like driving cars or controlling weapons systems?
Those are some weighty questions.
They are, and we need to start addressing them now.
It sounds like we're entering a new era, one where AI agents are going to play an increasingly prominent role in our lives.
We are.
It's exciting, but it's also a bit daunting.
It's both, for sure.
So let's shift gears a bit and look at some real-world examples of AI agents in action.
Okay.
After all, seeing is believing, right?
Absolutely.
Anil Nathu highlights some fascinating case studies in the AI coach.
He does.
And I think these examples really bring the concept of AI agents to life.
Mm-hmm.
Let's start with one that really captured the world's attention. DeepMind's AlphaGo.
Oh, yeah. AlphaGo, that was a game changer.
Can you tell us about that?
Sure. AlphaGo was an AI agent developed by DeepMind, a subsidiary of Google.
Okay.
And it was designed to play Go, that ancient game
Yeah.
that was considered too complex for computers to master.
So how did it do?
Well, it shocked the world.
Really?
In 2016, it defeated Lee Sedol.
One of the top Go players in the world.
Yeah, one of the best.
Wow.
It was a historic victory.
I bet.
It really demonstrated the power of AI.
How did AlphaGo manage to achieve such a feat?
Well, it was a combination of deep reinforcement learning and neural networks.
Okay.
It basically learned by studying millions of human games and then playing countless games against itself.
So it was learning from both human expertise and its own experience.
Exactly. It's a prime example of how AI agents can learn and adapt.
And AlphaGo's victory was more than just a win in a board game, wasn't it?
It was.
That had a real impact on AI research.
Oh, absolutely. It sparked a huge surge of interest in reinforcement learning and neural networks, which led to advancements in other fields like robotics and healthcare.
Wow, so AlphaGo showed us the power of AI agents in a game setting.
Yeah.
But what about real-world applications?
Well, let's talk about Tesla's autopilot.
Okay.
That's an AI agent that's literally on the road today.
Yeah, that's a great example.
Yeah.
It's an AI agent that many people are already interacting with.
Right.
So tell us about autopilot. Is it a fully self-driving system?
Not quite yet.
Okay.
It's more of an advanced driver assistance system. So it can handle certain driving tasks like steering, acceleration, and braking, but it still requires human supervision.
So how does it actually work? What kind of technology is powering it?
Well, it relies on a combination of things.
Okay.
Machine learning algorithms, sensor fusion, and a network of cameras, radar, and ultrasonic sensors.
Wow, so it's constantly gathering data about its surroundings and making decisions based on that information.
Exactly. And it can react to situations much faster than a human driver,
Right.
which can help prevent accidents.
So it's like having an extra set of eyes and a super fast brain helping you drive.
That's a good way to put it.
Now let's move on to another fascinating area where AI agents are making a big impact, healthcare.
All right.
We touched on IBM Watson earlier.
Right.
Lanel Nathu talks about it in the AI Coach.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell us a bit more about how Watson's being used to improve healthcare?
Sure. Well, Watson is a cognitive computing system that's been applied in various fields,
Oh.
but it's really made a name for itself in healthcare. Well, it can analyze vast amounts of medical data,
I can imagine.
including research papers, clinical trials, and patient records to help doctors make better decisions.
So it's like having a super smart medical consultant right at your fingertips.
Exactly. Watson can sift through mountains of data and identify patterns
No.
that human doctors might miss, which can lead to faster and more accurate diagnoses.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
So is Watson replacing doctors?
Oh, no, not at all.
Okay.
Good. It's really meant to be a tool to assist doctors, not to replace them.
Right.
It's all about enhancing human expertise with AI-powered insights.
That makes sense.
We're still in the early stages of applying AI to healthcare, but the possibilities are huge.
I bet.
AI agents like Watson have the potential to revolutionize how we diagnose and treat diseases,
Wow.
leading to better outcomes for patients.
Okay, so we've got Watson assisting doctors with diagnoses and treatment plans.
Right.
But AI agents are also making waves in the world of creativity and language.
Oh.
Specifically, I'm thinking about ChatGPT and DALL-E, both developed by OpenAI.
Those are some impressive systems.
They're generating a lot of buzz, and for good reason. Can you tell us a bit about them?
Well, ChatGPT is a language model that can
Okay.
generate human-like text in response to prompts.
Really?
You can ask it questions, have it write stories, poems, even code.
So it's like having an AI writing assistant.
Exactly. And it's pretty good at what it does.
Wow.
It can generate text that's often indistinguishable from human-written text.
What about DALL-E? What can that one do?
DALL-E is also a language model,
Okay.
but it takes things a step further. It can actually create images from textual descriptions.
Images.
Yeah, you can give it a prompt like a cat riding a unicorn on a rainbow, and it will generate an image.
That's crazy.
It is pretty amazing.
So it's like having an AI artist
Right.
that can bring your wildest imaginations to life.
Exactly. It's a great example of the potential of AI in art and design.
It's incredible to see how rapidly AI is evolving. It seems like we're still figuring out how to navigate this new landscape.
We are, but I think open discussions, responsible development, and public education are key.
Right.
We need to ensure that AI, including AI agents, is used for good
I agree.
and that it benefits society as a whole.
Okay, so we've talked about different types of AI agents, their core components, some real-world examples, and even some of the challenges we face.
Right.
But where is all of this heading?
That's the big question.
What can we expect to see in the coming years?
Well, the future of AI agents is incredibly exciting.
I can imagine.
We can expect to see significant advancements in AI technologies, deeper integration with other cutting-edge fields, and a profound impact on society as a whole.
That's a lot to unpack.
It is,
Okay.
but it's a future filled with both promise and potential pitfalls.
I can see that.
And it's one that we'll need to navigate carefully.
So let's dive into that future.
Mhm.
What are some of the key advancements in AI technologies that we can expect to see?
Well, we're already seeing incredible progress in areas like machine learning, deep learning, and reinforcement learning.
And those advancements will lead to even more capable and intelligent AI agents.
Exactly. We're moving towards AI agents that can understand and respond to the world in increasingly nuanced ways.
Wow.
They'll be able to process information more efficiently, learn from fewer examples, and even start to reason and make judgments based on incomplete data.
That's incredible. It sounds like we're on the verge of a major breakthrough in AI.
We might be, and these advancements will have a ripple effect across various fields.
I bet.
Imagine AI agents that can design personalized medical treatments, optimize energy consumption in smart cities, or even create art and music that rivals human creativity.
It's really mind-boggling to think about the possibilities.
It is, but advancements in AI technologies are only part of the story. The integration of AI agents with other emerging technologies.
Oh, yeah, that's where things get really interesting.
Exactly. It's the convergence of AI with other fields like the Internet of Things, blockchain, and even quantum computing.
Okay, let's break that down.
Sure.
What could we see with the integration of AI and the Internet of Things?
Well, the Internet of Things is all about connecting devices and sensors to the Internet,
Hmm.
creating this vast network of data. Now imagine AI agents analyzing that data in real time, making decisions and controlling those devices
Wow.
to optimize efficiency, safety, and convenience.
So we're talking about a world where AI agents are managing our homes, our cities, and even our workplaces.
Exactly. Think of AI agents controlling traffic flow in smart cities,
Okay.
optimizing energy consumption in buildings, or even monitoring your health and alerting you to potential problems.
It sounds like AI and the Internet of Things could make our lives a lot easier.
They could, but it's important to remember that we need to develop these systems responsibly,
Right.
addressing concerns about privacy, security, and control.
Makes sense.
Okay.
Now, what about blockchain?
Okay.
How could that technology be integrated with AI agents?
Well, blockchain is all about secure, transparent, and tamper-proof record keeping. So imagine using blockchain to track the decisions made by AI agents,
Okay.
creating an auditable trail that ensures accountability and builds trust.
So we could have a record of every decision an AI agent makes, which would make it easier to understand how it arrived at its conclusions
That's right.
and hold it accountable.
And this is particularly important in areas like healthcare, finance, and law enforcement, where transparency and accountability are crucial.
Okay, now for the really mind-bending stuff, quantum computing.
Yeah, that's where things get really wild.
How could quantum computing potentially impact the development of AI agents?
Well, quantum computing is still in its early stages,
Sure.
but it has the potential to completely revolutionize AI.
How so?
Quantum computers can perform calculations at speeds that are just unimaginable with classical computers.
Wow.
So this opens up incredible possibilities for AI agent development.
So we could see AI agents that are exponentially smarter and faster?
We could, and quantum computing could allow AI agents to tackle problems that are currently unsolvable,
Like what?
like designing new drugs, optimizing complex logistics networks, or even breaking encryption codes.
Wow, that's incredible. But with all these advancements, it sounds like AI agents could become incredibly powerful.
They could.
How do we ensure that this power is used responsibly?
That's the million-dollar question.
I bet it is.
As AI agents become more sophisticated, we need to think very carefully about their impact on society
Right.
and develop safeguards to prevent unintended consequences.
So we need to start thinking about the potential societal implications of AI agents now before they become even more advanced.
Exactly. We need to anticipate challenges, develop guidelines, and foster a public dialogue about the role we want AI to play in our lives.
Oh, okay. So we've got these incredible advancements in AI technologies, the integration of AI agents with other cutting-edge innovations,
Right.
and a whole lot of potential benefits and challenges to consider.
Mhm.
What does this mean for us as individuals and as a society?
Well, that's the big question.
What will the world look like as AI agents become more deeply integrated into our lives?
Well, that's something we'll have to explore further.
Okay.
But it's a topic that deserves a lot of thought and careful consideration.
Sounds good. Let's take a break and we'll come back to discuss that in more detail.
Great. You know, picking up on that, I think one of the things that Anelma 2 really stresses in the AI coach is the importance of regulation and governance when it comes to AI agents.
Yeah, it's a big question.
Yeah.
How do we make sure that these incredibly powerful tools are developed and used responsibly?
Right. We need to ensure they're aligned with our values and our interests.
Absolutely. We've talked about the potential benefits of AI, but we've also seen examples of where things can go wrong, especially when ethical considerations aren't really front and center.
Yeah, you're right. And that's exactly why we need these robust regulations and this strong governance framework.
Because these AI agents are becoming more and more a part of our everyday lives.
Exactly.
We need to set up the right guardrails now
Yeah.
to make sure they're used for good.
Exactly. And that's going to require, new laws, policies, ethical guidelines, and it's going to have to be a global effort.
It's a massive undertaking.
It is, but it's essential.
So who are the key players in this whole process of regulating and governing AI?
Well, it's definitely a multi-stakeholder effort.
Okay.
You've got policymakers, governments, they're going to have to develop laws that promote innovation, but also safeguard public interests.
It's a tough balance to strike.
It is. And then you have industry leaders.
Uh-huh.
They're going to have to adopt these ethical AI development practices,
Right.
prioritize transparency and accountability.
And what about the researchers?
Oh, they play a crucial role as well.
They're the ones who are pushing the boundaries of AI,
They are.
understanding its capabilities and also its limitations.
Exactly. And they need to communicate those findings to policymakers, to industry leaders.
Right, to inform those decisions.
Exactly.
But we can't forget about the general public.
Absolutely.
I mean, we're the ones who are going to be most affected by these technologies.
We are, and that's why public engagement is so important.
Yeah, we need to be a part of the conversation.
We do. We
Yeah.
need to demystify AI,
Yeah.
explain it in a way that everyone can understand, address those public concerns.
And Anil Nathu really emphasizes that in the AI Coach.
He does.
He talks about how the future of AI is not something that's predetermined.
Right.
It's something that we are actively shaping.
Through our choices,
Yeah.
our actions, and our conversations.
Okay, so we've established that regulation and governance are super important.
Right.
What are some of the specific areas where we need to focus our efforts?
Well, one of the biggest ones is data privacy.
Oh, yeah, that's a huge concern for a lot of people.
It is AI agents. They rely so heavily on data. And we have to make sure that that data is collected, stored, and used responsibly.
Right.
We need clear guidelines on consent, on security, on people's rights to access and control their own data.
Because I think a lot of people are uncomfortable with the idea that their personal data is being used to train these AI systems.
I get that. It can feel very invasive, even if it's being done with good intentions.
Right.
To improve services or to personalize experiences.
So it's about finding that right balance
It is.
between innovation and privacy.
Exactly.
What about bias in AI systems?
Oh, that's a big one. We've already seen examples of AI agents exhibiting bias, often reflecting the biases that are present in the data they were trained on.
So how do we address that?
Well, we need to develop mechanisms to detect and mitigate that bias.
Okay.
And that means auditing algorithms, making sure that training data is diverse, and really establishing clear lines of accountability for AI-driven decisions,
Right.
especially ones that have a significant impact on people's lives.
Because it's not enough to just build AI systems that are technically brilliant.
It's not.
They also have to be fair,
Right.
unbiased,
And ethical.
aligned with our values.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got data privacy, we've got bias, and then there's also the question of accountability.
Right. Accountability is huge.
Who is responsible when an AI agent makes a mistake?
Yeah. Or causes harm.
This gets tricky.
It does. It's a
Yeah.
very complex issue, with both legal and ethical dimensions.
Like with self-driving cars?
Exactly.
There's still a lot of debate about who's ultimately responsible when something goes wrong.
Right. Is it the driver, the car manufacturer, the software developer?
It's not always clear.
It's not. And as AI agents become more and more integrated into our lives, these questions of accountability are going to become even more pressing.
So we need to figure out the answer sooner rather than later.
We do.
Okay, so we've got those ethical and legal challenges.
Right.
But then there's also the economic impact of AI to consider.
Right. A lot of people are worried about job displacement.
Right. What happens when AI agents start automating tasks?
Yeah, and it's a valid concern. As AI agents become more capable, it's likely that they will automate certain jobs.
So what do we do about that?
Well, we need to be proactive.
Okay.
We need to prepare for these shifts in the workforce by investing in education and training.
Retraining people for the jobs of the future.
Exactly. Equipping people with the skills they need to thrive in this new AI-driven economy.
So it's not necessarily a case of robots taking over all the jobs.
No, it's more nuanced than that.
Okay.
It's about a transformation of the workforce.
Some jobs will disappear.
They will, but new jobs will emerge.
The challenge is to manage that transition smoothly.
Exactly, and to make sure that everyone benefits from these advancements.
So we've talked about the regulation, the ethical considerations, the economic impact. What about the more philosophical questions surrounding AI?
Right.
I mean, the idea of machines that can think and learn it can be a bit unsettling for some people.
I understand that, and those feelings are valid.
Yeah.
When you're dealing with technologies that have the potential to really fundamentally change our lives, it's natural to feel some apprehension.
So how do we address that unease? How do we balance those potential benefits with these deeper concerns about, the nature of intelligence?
Yeah, consciousness.
The future of humanity.
Oh, I think it starts with recognizing that AI, even in its most advanced forms, is still a tool.
Okay.
It's something that we create and that we control.
Right.
And it's up to us to use it ethically.
So it's about reframing our perspective on AI.
It is.
Instead of seeing it as this threat, we can choose to see it as an opportunity
Right.
to augment our own capabilities,
Exactly.
to build a better future.
And to have these open and honest conversations
Yeah.
about both the positive and the negative implications of AI.
We need to acknowledge those potential risks,
We do.
but also embrace the potential benefits.
And we need to make sure that the public is involved in shaping those conversations and making those decisions.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, we've talked about public understanding and engagement quite a bit.
We have.
How do we actually make that happen?
Well, I think one key is demystifying AI. We need to explain how these systems actually work in a way that's clear and understandable.
In a way that's not intimidating.
Exactly. And we need to avoid that black box problem
Right.
where AI is just seen as this mysterious force.
That nobody understands.
Right. We need to shed light on those algorithms and those processes.
Okay, so transparency is key.
Transparency is key. And we also need to highlight the real-world benefits of AI.
Show people how AI is making a positive difference.
Exactly. In healthcare, in education, in transportation.
Tell the good stories.
Yes, tell the good stories, but also be honest about the challenges.
Right.
We need to have an open and balanced conversation.
That doesn't shy away from the tough questions.
Exactly. We need to talk about job displacement. We need to talk about bias in algorithms.
Right.
We need to talk about the potential for misuse of this technology.
So it's about fostering a balanced and nuanced understanding of AI,
It is.
acknowledging both its power and its limitations.
Exactly. And involving the public in those decisions.
Right.
Giving them a voice.
Okay, so we've talked about regulation, governance, public understanding, ethical considerations.
It's a lot.
It is a lot. But there's another piece of this puzzle that I want to touch on before we move on.
What's that?
The role of human creativity and ingenuity in this age of AI.
Oh, that's an important point.
Because sometimes I think we get so caught up in the technology itself
We do.
that we forget that AI is ultimately a product of human creativity.
Right.
It's a tool that we created.
Exactly.
So even as these AI systems become more and more sophisticated, it's still humans who are driving that innovation.
Yes. We're the ones who are setting the goals, defining the problems.
Designing the algorithms.
Exactly. AI is a powerful tool,
Right.
but it's guided by human ingenuity.
And I think it's important to remember that AI is not meant to replace human creativity,
Right.
but to enhance it,
To augment it.
to free us up so that we can focus on those uniquely human qualities.
Right.
Our creativity, our empathy,
Okay.
our critical thinking.
So it's not humans versus machines. It's humans and machines working together
To achieve greater things.
to create a better future.
And as we move towards that future, we need to be mindful of both the benefits
Yes.
and the risks of AI.
Absolutely.
We need to be proactive in addressing those ethical
I
challenges
do.
and make sure that AI is used responsibly.
For the benefit of everyone.
Now, in the next part of our deep dive,
Okay.
we're going to shift our focus to some real-world examples of AI agents in action.
Sounds good.
We'll explore how these technologies are being applied in different industries and the impact they're having on our daily lives.
Yeah, before we jump into those examples, I think it's interesting how Anil Nathu in The AI Coach really emphasizes that AI agents aren't just some far-off futuristic thing.
Right.
They're already here.
They're all around us.
Yeah, they're woven into our everyday lives.
I think a lot of people don't even realize
That makes sense.
how often they're interacting with AI agents.
Right. Think about, those personalized recommendations you get on like streaming services.
Yeah.
Or even just the spam filters that keep our inboxes from, overflowing.
It's true.
AI agents are working behind the scenes,
All today.
shaping our digital experiences.
So let's bring those behind-the-scenes agents into the spotlight.
Okay.
Where are they having the biggest impact today?
Well, one area where they're really making a difference is in e-commerce.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they're the brains behind those personalized recommendations you see when you're shopping online.
Right. All those you might also like sections.
Exactly. They analyze your past purchases, your browsing history, even your social media activity to figure out what you might be interested in.
So these AI agents are trying to anticipate our needs and desires.
They are, and they're getting really good at it.
I've noticed that.
It's not just about, what you bought in the past.
Uh-huh.
They can actually predict what you might need in the future.
Really?
Just on all sorts of factors.
It's kind of like having a personal shopper
Yeah.
who knows you better than you know yourself.
Right. They're constantly curating this selection of products just for you.
And it's not just recommendations, right?
No, it's not.
These AI agents are also optimizing pricing. managing inventory,
Right.
personalizing the whole shopping experience.
The whole thing from start to finish.
So AI is making online shopping more convenient, more personalized, and probably more addictive.
Probably a little bit more addictive, yeah.
But it's also making it more efficient for the retailers, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, AI can help businesses cut costs, increase sales,
Mm-hmm.
and really gain a deeper understanding of their customers.
It's kind of a win-win.
Yeah, I'd say so, at least from a convenience and efficiency standpoint.
So e-commerce is one area.
Mm-hmm.
What about other industries?
Well, finance is another one.
Oh, yeah, Wall Street.
Yeah, AI agents are making big waves in the financial world.
How so?
Well, they're being used for everything from fraud detection and risk assessment to algorithmic trading and portfolio management.
So they're analyzing all that financial data,
Tons of data.
making decisions at speeds that humans just can't match.
It's amazing and a little bit scary.
Yeah, we're talking about high-frequency trading here, right?
Right, where computers are executing thousands of trades per second.
It's mind-boggling.
It is, and there's definitely a lot of debate about, the role of this kind of algorithmic trading in the markets.
Right. Some people say it makes the markets more efficient.
Mm.
Others worry about the potential for instability.
Yeah, crashes.
Flash crashes.
Right, exactly. And I think this highlights the need for careful regulation and oversight in this area.
Absolutely. We need to make sure that AI is being used responsibly,
We do.
that it's not creating unnecessary risks.
Especially in a system as complex and as important as the financial markets.
Okay, so we've got e-commerce. We've got what about transportation?
Oh, yeah, transportation. That's another big one.
We've talked about self-driving cars, which are probably the most visible example of AI in transportation.
They are, but AI is also doing a lot behind the scenes.
Really?
Yeah, in things like logistics and traffic management.
So AI agents are like optimizing delivery routes,
AR.
managing traffic flow,
Right.
maybe even making our commutes a little bit easier.
That's the hope. I mean, imagine AI agents that can analyze real-time traffic data,
Okay.
predict congestion hotspots,
Mm-hmm.
adjust traffic light timings to keep things moving smoothly.
So it's like having an AI traffic conductor
Yeah.
who can see the whole city at once.
That's a great way to put it. And they can also optimize logistics,
Yeah.
planning those delivery routes, managing fleets of vehicles, predicting maintenance needs.
Making everything more efficient.
Exactly.
It all sounds very promising.
It does, but like we've been talking about,
Mm-hmm.
there are challenges.
There always are.
So what are some of those biggest challenges facing AI agent developers today?
Well, I think one of the biggest ones is the need for more robust and more reliable AI systems.
Yeah, we need to make sure that these AI agents can actually function safely and effectively in the real world,
Right.
which is a lot harder than it sounds.
Because the real world is messy and unpredictable.
It is. It's full of surprises.
So building an AI agent that can perform well in a lab setting
Right.
is one thing.
It's a whole other ballgame out in the real world,
Exactly.
where things don't always go according to plan.
And then there are the ethical challenges as well, right?
Right.
How do we
Mhm.
make sure that these AI agents are being used responsibly?
That's the big question.
That their decisions are aligned with our values?
And I don't think there's an easy answer.
Right. It's an ongoing conversation.
It is.
It's something that we need to keep thinking about and talking about.
Absolutely. We need to develop those ethical frameworks, promote transparency, accountability, and engage the public in these really important discussions.
Because it's not just a technical issue, right?
It's not.
It's also a social and a philosophical issue.
It is. And the future of AI is not just about the technology, right?
It's about how we choose to use it,
Mm-hmm.
the values that we embed in it.
And the kind of world that we want to create with it.
Exactly. And I think on that note, it's a good place to wrap up our deep dive.
I think so, too.
We've covered a lot of ground today.
We have.
We've talked about the different types of AI agents, the core components that make them work,
Challenges.
the ethical considerations, the societal implications.
And, of course, the incredible potential of this technology.
It's a powerful technology.
It is, and it's one that's going to continue to shape our world in profound ways.
I think that's a given.
So as we move forward, I think it's important to remember that the future of AI is not predetermined.
It's not.
It's something that we are all creating together.
And it's a future that I, for one, am excited to be a part of.
Me too. Thank you for joining us today on this deep dive into the world of AI agents. For more AI insights, be sure to visit the AI Coach website by Anil Nathu.